In the New Testament, tell us about Mary and Joseph's marriage.
Well, that got off to a very stormy start because, of course, they were engaged and then she was suddenly pregnant. He actually decided he was going to divorce her. No, he wasn't actually married to her. They were betrothed, but betrothal was an extremely serious decision that was made between a couple. It was a decision to get married. We see it in rabbinic law, find it in the laws of ketuvos, the laws of the marriage contracts, that if there's any difficulty over a betrothal, if there's any complication that you couldn't get married after all, then you had a divorce certificate to make sure that it was clear that that woman was free to marry someone else. Mary was engaged to Joseph, but before they came together she was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. And Joseph, being a righteous man, didn't want to disgrace her. He intends to divorce her privately. That divorce and engagement seems to be rather a bit of a contradiction to us. But when you read the rabbinic texts, you can see the background that explains that situation, that you have a divorce for an engagement.
She wouldn't have been stoned, would she?
To stone someone for adultery, you do have to have two witnesses of the event. In a sense, there was the evidence of the child, of course, but it was very difficult to stone anyone for adultery in New Testament days also because the Romans didn't allow the Jews to carry out a capital offence. So she wouldn't have been stoned, but she would have been an absolute pariah in society. Of course, this story has a happy ending. An angel came and told Joseph the incredible news that Mary had not been adulterous. She was pregnant by the Holy Spirit, and this was a very special child that she was having. And I take my hat off to Joseph. He must have been an extremely brave individual to marry Mary in this situation, knowing that everyone was going to be talking about it.
And this is quite a shocking introduction of Christ to the world, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and Jesus carries that stigma of his birth throughout the Gospels. You see it, say, in Matthew and Luke, where they're emphasizing so strongly that Jesus came from kingly stock, and his birth can be explained as something from the Holy Spirit. But even in John, where he doesn't mention these birth narratives, the question about his birth, where the crowd, they say to him, "Where's your father? At least we weren't born out of fornication." Everyone knew about Jesus. And even in Mark, which doesn't mention that controversy, doesn't mention the birth narratives, you have that Jesus is being called in Nazareth, son of Mary. No one was called after their mother. You have Simeon ben Gamaliel, or Jesus bar Abbas. You have people named after their fathers. But Jesus was named after his mother, Jesus bar Mary. No other Jew that we know of was named after her mother. Everyone knew the scandal of Jesus' birth.